welcome to my new Blender tutorial. Today I want to show you how I made this. It's a non-destructive way to indent some surface with text. It's non-destructive, which means I can change the text here and it will automatically adapt. And of course I can change the location of the text and it still works. And that, I think, it's pretty nice. You can change some parameter. So I don't want to waste your time, so let's get right started. I just start a brand new file here. And I'm gonna turn on some screencast keys here. These are not my normal screencast keys. I don't know. I don't get it one here on my computer for 3.1. It didn't work. I have no idea why not. So we start with this default cube, and we're gonna go in edit mode with tab and press here on face mode, and then I extrude this on y-axis and turn it up there. Then I'm gonna push Control R and enter here some loop cuts, and then I'm gonna subdivide. So oops, of course everything, A to select all, and then subdivide. Let's do it a few times so we have a nice mesh here. So next we add a text so we can check it out. And the text is, oh yes, Blender RX90, RZ90, and then we go in text properties, geometry, and we extrude it a bit. And we give it, we move it a little bit forward, so GX, here we are. And what we also do, we give it a little bevel because this looks nice. And the next thing we're gonna do is we give this good old box here Vertex weight proximity modifier. What does this do? Well, what is a vertex? A vertex is one point here in geometry, and this point can have or can be part of a so-called vertex group. How do I create a vertex group? I select all, I go here, and then I press here, and now there is a vertex group. But there are now no points in it, because if I say deselect all and say select, nothing in it. If I take these and I say assign, I assign to all these points a vertex weight of 1, I'm sorry. If I now press on select, you see, it's exactly these points, and if I tap on deselect, they are gone, and I can't see these values. If I click here, you see, it's in group, and it's weight 1. If I call this my vertex group, you see it's my vertex group and it's value of 1. If I want to add another value, maybe this 0.2, and this should be a value of 0.5, assign, you can see. If I now select my vertex group, I have these all, which are 1, and somewhere here, which I forgot. Yeah, that's where it's the point with 0.5. I can see the select. So if I click here, I see 0.5. You see, that's how vertex group work. And you can do a lot with these vertex groups, because a lot of modifiers you can restrict what the modifier does by the vertex group. So I take now all with A and say assign, and now I have all points here in, and now I need a target. My target is my text, and my vertex group is my just created vertex group, and I need, is very important, change this to geometry, and now I got a vertex group which changes its weight depending on the proximity of this object here, the text, to this object which has the modifier. So if I change now here from object mode to weight paint, you see it already reacts. Wet means I think weight 0, and if it's nearer, you get another value. So if I grab now my text and say G X, or I cannot move in this mode here, so I can move it here. So you see, if I now change my X value, okay, now I change the value of the box, but it's the same. It's the same. If I move the box or the text, it's the same. So if I'm near, it's blue, and I got a high vertex value. And if it's far away, I just get a red value. So this is working perfectly fine. And what I do now is I want to change the geometry of my box depending on that vertex value. And this I'm going to do with the displace modifier. The displace modifier changes my surface depending on a value. Example given, I could now create a texture, and if I then choose example given a cloud texture, I'm gonna get these, because cloud values are between 0 and 1, white and black. White is 1, black is 0. And example given, if I change now the size, you see I now got smoother values, and of course I can say right click shade smooth, and it starts already looking very nice. And this is how the displace modifier works. But we don't want to use, in this case, the texture. We want to use the result of our vertex group here. So we're going to delete this texture, and we choose here our vertex group, and you see already here we have something. Now, if I move now the text, you see it's already working, but it is working just for the text. So if I hide it now, you see here some points, and I think it's prettier if it would be a box around the text, which calculates the distance, so it looks better, I think. That's why I came up to the idea, and I just want to try. Yeah, you see it here, pretty good. So that's why I came to the idea to give the text a geometry nodes modifier. And with the geometry nodes modifier, I'm gonna make out of the text a bounding box. So search bounding box. A bounding box is a box which is like a gift, and as if you would wrap a gift with the minimum size of a box around it, that everything fits in. So that's what the bounding box does. And if you want to see both text and bounding box, you can use the join geometry node. And then, because here is the text, this is our text, and now you see here that the text is inside these bounding box, and this is exactly what we want to have. If I now, example given, add a transform modifier with which you can move the text, you see there it is. So I can move it here on every axis if I want to. But I don't want to do it now. I want the text to stay in there. But what I want to do is I want to make the bounding box invisible. This can be done by a new material, and I call it invisible. And how is it invisible? I just set alpha to 0, and I set the blend mode to alpha blend. And this is very important. I have to set this in the tree too, else it won't be taken. So I choose here set material invisible. Now you see I cannot see the box anymore, which is good. This is what I want. Now I want a material for my text, so I add another material here. Call this red. And now, oh, I'm a bad boy. And now I make it orange. Also, it's called red. You shouldn't do that. Now, set material. Now I give my text the material and I choose it here. And you now see here is my text, which is great. This is exactly what I want. So now I can move the text near my box and I see my indentation. Not good because it's white. White is bad. So we take another material and choose whatever, blue. So now we have a blue material and you can see it's indented. We can hide it here and it still has these little things here which it shouldn't have. This can happen, and if you now play here with the values, you can change the indentation. I think we shouldn't enter the text here, we just use the box here. It's because we still had joined the text, but I just want to show you how you could see it, but we don't need it here. We want to use just the bounding box. Well, now you will ask, why do I see just here these two holes and not a flat surface? That's because the bounding box just has, like every other box, just 8 vertices. If I add here a cube, move it up, and you can count here 4 vertices here and 4 vertices there. So this is what's happening here. He's just calculating the distance to these vertices. So what we need here is more subdivision levels for these box. So we say subdivide mesh, and we say, you see, now it's one loop cut here, so we have one more, and if I choose more I get a flat surface, which is very nice, which is what I want. Now I unhide the text and I don't see the text, but I can put it back in and you see it's working pretty good. What I can do now is, because it is non-destructive, I can change values here. If I, example given, change these values, I get another indentation, as you can see, and I can change here this value, I get other indentation there, and yeah, I can move the text if I want to. Here, the indentation will follow. I can change the text if I want to, and as you can see, it works. Yeah, and you still can change here to whatever color you want. Yeah, you shouldn't change the box color. This is ridiculous. But you can change the text color. You can move it if you want to, but it would just yeah. If you just move the text, you can see the difference and compare which you like more. Here you see now the distance to the text, and this is a distance to the bounding box, and I think a normal car, or what it was there with the problem, it does not look so good here. Of course, it's another effect. If you want that, you can have it, but I think personally it's better with the box. Yeah, this was my Blender tutorial. I hope you learned something and have fun. Bye.